Whole trees are consumed in seconds. And the road he just left is swept by a blistering wave of fire.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at 10 shocking police dashcam footage.
Officials tell our Raleigh affiliate WRAL the driver, a doctor, was watching a movie on his phone.
I lived down for a minute.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most harrowing pieces of footage captured by the dash cameras of police cars. Which of these shocks you the most? Let us know in the comments. Machete Chase.
Coming up to an intersection here about the parking lot, made a right-hand turn. I was going westbound.
On August 3rd, 2017, a man named Fernando Kiala attacked two women with a machete. Both received extensive and life-threatening injuries, but luckily they survived. The police were called, and they spotted Kiala fleeing the scene in a white van. What followed is a high-speed chase worthy of the big screen.
Okay, we're slowing down now. We're speeding up a little bit, going eastbound.
Multiple cop cars and a helicopter follow Kiala as he speeds down the highway and through various residential streets. He dodges cars and at one point even drives backwards. The chase lasts approximately 20 minutes before Kiala loses control and is surrounded. He's violently taken to the ground and arrested, and he was later sentenced to 8 years in prison.
And he's resisting. They're trying to handcuff him. Still hold there.
Tesla autopilot.
Tesla historically notoriously pushes the envelope. I don't know how much longer regulators will put up with it.
The idea of self-driving cars is a contentious one and has spurned much debate in recent years. The detractors often point to incidents like this. A North Carolina deputy and his highway patrol officers are investigating a car crash when a potentially deadly incident occurs. A Tesla driving on autopilot collides into the deputy's car at nearly 70 miles an hour. The deputy is sideswiped by his car and falls to the ground, dragging the patrol officer down with him. Luckily, both men were all right. The driver of the Tesla admitted that he was on the phone and therefore couldn't prevent the crash. He faced multiple charges, but all were dismissed.
Automation cannot do everything. It's not enhancing our safety, and in this situation, it could have killed 2 law enforcement agents.
Casey White is apprehended.
This is body camera footage after the pursuit and crash from an Evansville police officer who has only been on the force for a couple of years.
The Evansville Police Department released a startling bit of dashcam footage displaying a dramatic arrest. The police car pulls up to the site, revealing a swarm of officers dragging a man across the ground. The man is swiftly handcuffed and placed on the hood of the dashcam vehicle. The suspect in question was Casey White, a prisoner who was serving a 75-year sentence when he was sprung by the unrelated Vicky White, a corrections officer who worked at the jail he was temporarily being held at. Casey was taken back to prison and charged for the death of Vicky, who took her own life. According to law, a suspect can be charged with homicide if someone dies while they are committing a felony.
And authorities say they're still building a timeline of what exactly the duo did during the escape and working to determine if Casey White could still face additional charges.
A heroic save. Every year, Tampa Bay hosts the Skyway 10K, a charity run in which participants race across the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. During the 2022 event, a drunk driver broke through the barrier and sped towards the participants. Florida Highway Patrol Officer Tony Shuck made a heroic decision and ran her car into the vehicle, resulting in a nearly head-on collision. The footage is horrifying, with Shuck turning into the speeding car and getting whipped back by her airbag. Shuck suffered some injuries and spent time in the hospital, but returns to full duty just 3 months later.
At first it was hard. You have a lot of soreness. I'm not going to get into the injury part of it, but physical therapy and doctor visits, chiropractor visits have helped a lot.
She was widely recognized as a hero, throwing out the first pitch at a Rays game, and even being given the keys to the cities of St. Petersburg and Bradenton. Texarkana Train Explosion.
There was a large explosion, bright light, kind of off to my right.
In the early morning hours of October 15th, 2005, 2 trains collided in Texarkana, Arkansas. A tank car was breached on one of the trains, sending a dangerous chemical gas into the air. When a police car responded to the scene, driver Randy McAdams immediately noticed a thick cloud of propylene drifting through the area. He reports the smell and backs up for his own safety. Shortly after doing so, the horizon erupts in a massive explosion, sending a huge fireball and thick plumes of smoke into the dark morning sky.
Oh, God, no.
It's like being in a war zone.
No, we've got a massive fire out here.
The sight is apocalyptic and absolutely unforgettable. Chaotic driver.
What can we do? Try to get the baby out of the back in case this goes absolutely off the rails.
Georgia's Byron Police Department received a 911 call reporting a reckless driver. They then capture this driver on Dashcam, and it makes for frightening footage. The driver runs into pedestrians, with one jumping over the car and another falling to the ground. Police then embark on a brief chase, and the driver rams multiple vehicles. The car is eventually stopped, and the woman is dragged from the vehicle and handcuffed. There was also a small child in the back seat, and she can be seen getting rescued by a citizen. It's harrowing stuff, but luckily, everyone was all right. House explosion.
We're headed to the suburbs of Dallas, Texas, where the Hearst Police Department are responding to calls of a car that's driven into the side of a house.
As a police officer, you never know what you're going to get. Cruiser in the Dallas, Texas suburb Hearst approached the scene of a bad accident. A white car had crashed into a house, supposedly after its brakes had failed. The dashcam footage shows the crashed vehicle and the ruined house, and also the shocking aftermath. As a responding officer walks up to the house, it explodes in a massive fireball and sends debris hurtling in every direction. The car had hit a gas line when it crashed, resulting in the explosion. Multiple people were injured in the blast, but none fatally.
As one officer pulls the driver to safety, others check the house and surrounding homes for other potential victims.
A shocking statement.
I don't know what's in his heart, but I certainly know what came out of his mouth.
This bit of dashcam footage is chilling, but in a different sort of way. A Georgia police lieutenant by the name of Greg Abbott pulled over a woman. She can be heard expressing her panic, telling Abbott that she's seen what bad police officers are capable of doing. Abbott then made a horrific statement, telling her that they, quote, only kill black people.
But you're not black. Remember, we only kill black people. Yeah, we only kill black people, right?
It doesn't matter if he was being facetious or if, as his lawyer claims, he was using the passenger's own statements against her. It's still a terrible thing to say, and Abbott was scheduled to be fired. However, he retired before the termination could occur.
The police chief says the community and his own officers expected an appropriate response.
Flipping a pregnant woman's car. A pregnant woman by the name of Nicole Harper was going 84 in a 70-mile-per-hour zone, prompting the response of Officer Rodney Dunn. Dunn flashed the car's lights, but Harper refused to pull over. According to Harper's lawyer, she didn't feel it was safe to pull over owing to the narrow shoulders.
I had heard that that's what you do. You slow down, you put your flashers on, and you drive to a safe place.
This was corroborated by Harper herself in the dashcam video. After a 2-minute chase, Dunn uses the pit maneuver, which is when a car hits the back wheel of a fleeing vehicle, causing it to spin sideways. In this case, Harper's vehicle crashes and then flips over. Both Harper and her baby were all right, and she later settled a lawsuit against the Arkansas State Police.
Thought it would be safer to wait until the exit.
No, ma'am, you pull over when law enforcement stops you, okay? You were running 84 miles an hour, and I'm trying to get you to stop.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into settings and switch on your notifications. Turning off the camera. In April of 2014, a man named Cortez Bufford was pulled over for speeding and making an illegal U-turn. Dashcam footage shows multiple St. Louis police officers pulling Bufford from the vehicle and using physical force to restrain him, including kicking and tasing. But even more disturbing is what comes after. One of the officers then references the dash camera and tells the others to hold up before it's turned off.
Hold up, everybody hold up. We're red right now, so if you guys are worried about cameras, just wait.
Bufford was arrested at the scene, but the charges against him were dropped. He later sued for excessive use of force, and the city settled for $20,000. According to Bufford's parents, police harassed him for years afterwards. 5 years after the police beat him, he ran from officers during a pedestrian check. and one officer drew his gun, chased him down, and shot him 5 to 6 times, killing him. The officer claimed that Bufford, who was armed, had pointed his gun at him.
The officer turning off the camera says, number one, that she knew what they were doing instinctively was not right.
Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.